my name is Angela Pennant, and I'm the youth leader here at First Church of the Nazarene. Today we're going to be talking about disappointment. So you've heard the phrase, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? Its intent is to encourage us to make the most out of discouraging moments in life, to find the good in them. When we study the life of Jesus, we see a man who was betrayed by his friends, misunderstood by those around him, and who seemed to have lost everything. Jesus definitely understood disappointment. Every day, young people encounter situations at home or at school that leave them feeling broken and discouraged. Today, we're going to talk about that. Think about one of the best days in your life. What happened on that day and what made it so great? And then I want you to think about one of the most disappointing days in your life. What happened on that day? Think about it for a second. Let's face it, there are some days that just aren't that great, right? Life can be really hard. And here's something that Christians don't talk about that much. God knows that life is really hard. God never promised us that life would be easy. In fact, Jesus told his disciples and us these amazing words in John 16:33. If anyone knows how hard this life can be, wouldn't it be Jesus? But listen to the amazing hope and promise that he gives us. He has overcome the world, and he has come to give us peace. You hear a similar reminder in other parts of the Bible too. 2 Corinthians 4:16-18 tells us, "Therefore, we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal." You start to get the idea that what Jesus is giving us is a peace that is beyond anything that can happen in our lifetime. Life hands us lemons, and Jesus says just keep your eyes on him and watch what he does. Does that mean that everything is perfect? No, of course not. You just magically get the grade on the test that you wanted, or you make the team that you tried out for? Not necessarily. But what he does promise is that if we look above the things of this life and we look to Jesus, we will see things differently. When the world sees chaos, we will see peace. When we should lose hope, we will find joy. It really doesn't make sense, but it does. This is why Paul says in the verse that I just read, do not lose heart. We have a reason as Christians to not lose heart. Not only do we have eternal hope and know that even when this world ends and our bodies die, we will be with Jesus. But even as our bodies get old and the world seems to be falling apart, God is making all things new. The things that are eternal and beyond what this world sees. Jesus came into a world filled with darkness and death and despair, and he turned things upside down. And that is why we, as God's people, are the ones that have hope, even in the darkest times. We know that this world is not all that there is. We know that even though there might be disappointment and we might be beaten down, that God is with us. It really is about perspective, choosing to see things from God's point of view, choosing to see lemonade instead of sour lemons, choosing to see that the love that God has for us and cannot be stopped, not even death. We're going to do something really simple here together. I want you to grab a small piece of paper, any color is fine, grab a pair of scissors and grab a pen. I want you to cut out a small heart, and I want you to write on it, don't lose heart. It should look like this. I want each of you to put that heart in your pocket or put it somewhere that you can see it to remind yourself to not lose heart. In this life, we will have disappointments and we're going to have hurts, but don't lose heart because you are not alone and God loves you so much. And the peace and the hope that comes through Jesus is honestly the kind of thing that will not fade. No matter what kind of disappointments you may face, when times get tough, you know that there is one that you can go to that understands disappointment like no one else does. Someone who was betrayed by his friends, someone who was misunderstood by those around him, and seemed to have lost everything. Jesus knows disappointment, and that is why his words ring so clear. Read John 16:33. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. So take heart. This past week, I got a text message from one of our youth group kids with a message, with a picture of this heart, because we've done this lesson before. We made this years ago in youth group, and that same teenager texted me a picture of this and said that she had found it recently, and she really needed that reminder. And I want you guys to hold on to these hearts. I want you to put them someplace where you'll see them. I want you to look at it, and maybe someday, months from now, maybe you'll be having a really bad day. Maybe you'll be struggling with something that you just don't understand. And when that happens, I want you to see that little heart that you made today out of a little scrap of paper. And I want you to remember how much God loves you. I want you to remember how much I love you, and I want you to never lose heart. Thank you.